This is going to be a mashup of two videos I was going to do. I decided to merge them into one because I didn't want to do a whole big spiel on the second video, and the reason is because battery life. If I have time in the future and once this gets fixed, I will do it, but it's going to be on one, basically trying to convince you, give you reasons why FullMetal Alchemist, which is going to be a possible series I will be sort of reviewing and discussing as I watch it, and it's pretty much a video on why you should join me on this journey, why this is a good manga, and it's pretty much for those people who are on the fence or who have never heard about this manga before and have some free time and are just a little bit bored of the couple manga they watch, or maybe the several manga they read, whether it's with Naruto or One Piece or Bleach. Maybe you want to read something new, and so this is going to be a quick thing to convince you. And the second portion is just going to be on a little bit of reminiscing on my experience with the manga. So I did a whole spiel on the difference between FMA Brotherhood, FMA the manga, and FMA the anime. There is a difference. I did a whole spiel. Check my other latest video if you want to figure that out. It's also titled something like FullMetal Alchemist First Impressions. That's the title. But long story short, FMA Brotherhood and FMA the manga are the same thing, same plot. FMA, just FMA the anime, is it's a different story, and the reason is because there's a little bit of a conflict, and the manga creators pretty much told the anime creators, just go along with your own story. We don't have time to catch up because the manga is going at such a slow pace. So FMA the anime created their own story, and it's a very deep story. But FMA Brotherhood, which is another anime, is the same as the manga. It's just the animated version of the manga, which came much later once the manga finished. So that took forever. Basically, FMA is an awesome thing you should watch, and I will be talking about the manga. It's a great manga. First off, a little bit of a spoiler alert. Basically, the story is about these two kids. They live in a universe where there's alchemy. It's a science where you can draw these transmutation circles, and basically there's a law of equal exchange. If you want something, you have to give up something in return. So they can use this to create stuff, like if they put like a bar of iron in the circle, they can change it into like a doll made of iron. And so they use it for many purposes, but these guys basically, what happened was their dad left them long ago, their brothers, and at the age of 12, their mother died. So they used alchemy, and they used a forbidden form of it, human alchemy, to try and bring back their mother. And basically it failed, and in the process they had to give up stuff because of the equal exchange process. And so one of them lost his entire body, the other lost his arm and his leg, and in the process they created like this monster that wasn't his mom, but kind of looked like it looked very disgusting. But basically you don't see that, by the way. The anime Funimation, the company, it's a clean company, so they kind of like cut that out. You don't even see it much in the manga, so don't worry, it's not like a disgusting manga. Anyhow, so the brother who's still alive, he's like, okay, I gotta bring my brother back. So he uses another human alchemy kind of thing, and it works. He brings his brother back, but he loses his body. So he traps his soul in a huge suit of armor, and so that's the premise of the story. And then it's fast forward like many years in the future. Basically, because of their talent, despite their failure, they were recognized and they became state alchemists, which is a huge title. And so they're going around, and now their goal is they've humbled themselves and they've learned from their mistakes. And their new goal is simply to just find a way to bring back their original bodies. That's all they want. They don't want their mom anymore or anything, or bringing back people from the dead. They just they realize their mistakes. So the guy in the suit, I forgot his name. I think it's Edward Elric. He's the younger brother, but he looks a lot bigger because he's in a huge suit, metal suit now. And he doesn't have a body. Like, he inhabits this suit of armor, but if you were to open it up and look inside, it's empty. But the soul is inside, basically. So he can move about and stuff, and he's a very fun character, kind of shy too, and very weak compared to his brother, who's technically a lot shorter because the armor is like, the suit of armor is huge, and then his brother is very small. But he's the younger brother. So it's a very funny dynamic. The older brother's shorter than the suit of armor, and his name is Eric, I think. I might have gotten the name switched up, but he's awesome. Now he has a robotic arm and a robotic leg because, again, he lost it. And so their goal is, as state alchemists, other than to fulfill their duties as state alchemists, which is pretty much to patrol areas and go on missions, is to find a way to return his brother back to his original human body, and for him to get his arm and leg back. And so they run into a lot of things, and basically they run into a lot of enemies and stuff. And as far as the main manga is concerned, basically there's these mysterious bad guys called the Seven Sins, and they embody the seven sins. Like, there's one called Lust, who's a girl, and there's one called Gluttony, who's very fat as well. Sorry guys, the camera died and then I couldn't record until now. So basically where I left off, yeah, there are these seven sins, and there are these mysterious creatures. They have some sort of alchemy. We're not really sure, and then they're very, very strong, and we don't see what their main motive is. And then, at least in the manga, spoiler alert, we do see that they are just another sub part of a larger group that's controlling them, who have ulterior motives. And so it's a very, very interesting series. My favorite part is just the fact that you can use alchemy. I mean, it's so cool. Like, you draw these transmutation circles, which are pretty much just like circles that look really cool on the ground. You use a few hand seals, kind of like Naruto's ninjutsu, and then you can, like, it's not like ninjutsu where you can just create stuff out of new stuff, and that's the uniqueness about it. It's this science where it's a rule of equal contribution. Whatever you lose, you have to gain something from it, kind of like a chemical equation where both sides must be balanced. And because I study biology and chemistry, I know that's actually nowhere near the truth in the real world, and equations have to be balanced for a different reason. But however, in terms of the anime, I don't think it plays a huge part. I think it's a really cool thing, and later on you'll see some really cool stuff. I really like Edward, I believe his name, Edward Elric, who's the main character. He ends up being able to transmute his metal arm into anything he wants. Actually, I think he starts off being able to do that, but yeah, he can transmute his arm, which is just a legit metal robotic arm, and he can transform it into like weapons. Like, he transforms it into a spike in like the third episode, and he does like other stuff with it. So it's really, really cool, and he's very unique because he's like, apparently he's a prodigy because he's 12 years old, already a state alchemist. But the real reason was mainly because after the human alchemy thing, he survived that, and because of it, he gained the power to transmute stuff without circles or drawing circles. So he can instantly just go like this, and he can transmute stuff. And you'll see him do it
like multiple times. Like once he sees like a wall, so he just transmutes the wall, creates a door, and then just walks through it. And so yeah, that's how it works. The one thing I never really understood was how is that equal exchange? Like once he frees, there's this one time he freezes the river, and how is that equal exchange? I mean, I guess because the water doesn't have changed form or anything, you're not actually altering anything, so it's still equal after it's frozen. I don't know, but yeah, he makes doors and stuff, water freeze, and he's very unique because most others have to use transmutation circles, and they have to take the time to draw it out. And a few others, when he runs into along the adventure, have found ways to surpass that as well. Like some of them have drawn permanent tattooed transmutation circles on their arms so they don't have to keep drawing them out. And others still have done other stuff, mainly to get it to work. Some use like gloves and stuff. And it's a very, very cool thing. And he is technically a prodigy, but in honesty, he's not really a prodigy because, I mean, the only prodigious thing that they've done as brothers is actually survive the human alchemy thing. And then actually they were kind of geniuses because Edward Elric was able to bring his brother back to life from the dead after he died trying to resurrect his mom. And what ended up happening, again, I'm repeating myself, but it was very genius of him to bring him back and trap him into this suit of armor so he could still have his brother. And then so they go on their adventures, and yeah, everyone's calling him the FullMetal Alchemist, even though he's not full metal technically. And that's what the state government nicknamed him, so that's his name. And people say he's a prodigy because he can transmute stuff without circles, but that's really just a side effect or a little bit of a gift due to the event with trying to bring back his mother. I honestly don't know exactly why he got that gift after that. I don't think apparently it's like a gift because of him giving up his arm and leg and stuff, but I don't think that's true because his gift for giving up his arm and leg and losing his brother was to bring back this like messed up form of his mom. And so I don't think for him to gain this ability of being able to transmute without circles it shouldn't be a gift on top of bringing back like this corpse of his mom. So I don't really understand how he got that, but there you have it. And so finally, to wrap it up, just a little bit of reminiscing. Basically, I was bored during my senior year of high school. It was winter time, and it was winter break, or yeah, it was either high school or college. It was winter break, so it was a long break, and I was sick. I was deathly sick. I was working very, very hard at school. I'm pretty sure it was high school. I was working the entire day, every day, and then I got very ill, and so all I could do was stay in bed the entire time. Even moving or walking was very tough. And what ended up happening was I was bored, so I downloaded and watched FullMetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is exactly like the manga, on my iPod, just in my bed, in the basement, and it was awesome. And some of you guys are gonna be like, "Wow, you're such a nerd," but it was an awesome series. It was very, very cool. It was amazing. The story was amazing, just as good as a lot of other books I've read, and I really liked it, and it really got me through that time when I couldn't even move or talk. And I was just very thankful that I'd gotten sick over the week where I didn't have school and I wouldn't miss anything. And on top of that, I could just stay home and watch this series. And it was a very inspirational series. It was very heartbreaking at times. And yeah, it got very sad at times. And afterwards, once I got better and the anime didn't keep up with the manga, I got to the last anime episode. And then I just switched over to reading the manga. And I read the manga for about 1 to 2 years until it finally ended. And it was very, very sad how it ended. Well, not this. The story wasn't sad. The ending wasn't sad. Spoiler alert. But it was sad how the manga ended, and I really felt that it could have kept going for a lot longer. There's still so many unexplained points, so many things that could have kept it going, like how Naruto constantly does it, or Bleach constantly adds in another arc afterwards that is even more epic. And I don't know why they ended it so quickly, but it was a very big ending, and I could kind of see it because it was the culmination of all the characters, all the evil villains, and finally everything being revealed. I just thought it was they could have just ended that and started a new arc with new villains, but I mean that arc had been pretty much going from the beginning. Technically, it was like this huge arc, and then various small mini arcs that was on top of that. So you didn't really see the main arc until the end. It's kind of like you see the Seven Sins, but you don't know what's going on. You see them occasionally, and you know they have something to do with the villains in each arc, but you don't know what's going on. But yeah, the point is, it ended, and it was very sad. I really thought that there's some disappointing things that happened at the end of it, and I thought it could have been done better. I thought the ending could have been greater. I thought he could have become more awesome at the end, but it was a great series, and the anime had some very heart-touching points that were very sad and almost made me cry. I didn't cry because I'm a man, but it was very sad, and yeah, the music just made it sadder. So don't think it's a tragedy though. It's there's a lot of very funny, humorous points, and a lot of action and adventure and plot, and yeah, you get a lot of moral sense out of it. Like there's a lot of lessons to be learned from a moral perspective from it. And so yeah, that's about it. That's all I want to say. Like, rate, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. It's free. Just hit the button below and you can be subscribed for my future videos. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out, and I hope you guys like this video. Thank you for watching it until the end.